Review and installation of the Arredondo mag extension base pad and spring. I believe these are the best mag extensions for durability and reliability. They give +6 rounds for your 9mm and +5 for 40 cal. Glock 17 mag, it will give me a total of 23 rounds. They make them for other Glock models and handguns. These are my favorite because of the design they chose. When you drop your mag on the base, it's not going to pop off and your spring and follower shoot out. It's also not going to break. I think this design is superior. It's much more reliable in the longevity aspect, and I've yet to see one of these break. This is what I'm switching to because I think it is so much better than the previous Terran Tacticals that I was using before. It's made of a hardened polymer or plastic. This is going to make it a little bit more lightweight. Now, when you are dropping the magazine from your gun, it's not going to have as much weight to drop as fast as your other metal magazines, but it still does add weight to the bottom to get it to drop freely. This is the checkered finish. You can also get it in the smooth. I prefer this checkered because it gives a little bit more grip, hard plastic texture on the bottom. It comes with a 10% longer spring, which you will need for this to function reliably. For the mag extension, spring, and U-tool, it costs $43. That price is on par with the other magazine extensions on the market. I've seen a lot of different magazine extensions pop off because it is holding a lot more of its pressure on the sides and ridges of the magazine, and then there's a little pin in the back that can very often lose its hold and then fall off. It has two pieces, so this will slide over the top and this will go on the bottom. They will clip over each other, clamping and smashing downward, and it provides a very tight and reliable closure. It does have a lip all the way around the border. This is what is going to push up against the bottom of the magazine, so that will keep it in place as well, but it has sort of a dual function. It's not 100% relying on the lip of the mag because of these hooks on the side, fully enclosing the magazine, which having this closure at the back makes it, in my opinion, the best and most reliable magazine extension. On the Glock 17, butts up very nice to the end of the Magwell. It is a very clean and swift insert. On the Glock 19, they do make mag extensions for the 15 round mags. It's not going to give you the +6, so it will fit a little bit better if you get the specific ones for the 15 round mags. But even having the 17 round mag with this mag extension, it still doesn't look terrible. And if you wanted that extra capacity in a smaller gun, there is a small bit of gap. It does fit and function. Before getting these Arredondo mag extensions, I used the Magpul 21 round mags as a very cheap alternative. These are not nearly as expensive, at least half the price of this, because you have about a $20 mag and then a $43 mag extension. So this whole package is about $60, give or take. The biggest difference between the two is that the Magpul has plastic feed lips and the Glock has a metal reinforced feed lip. Glock magazines are going to be more reliable in general, although having put at least 2,000 rounds through these Magpul 21 rounders, I have not had one break and I have not had one fail. I've used the same 2 or 3 of these for that entire duration and they have ran reliably. Now you are going to get 2 less rounds with these, which can be kind of critical. I found myself running out of ammo in certain situations where the extra 2 rounds on this mag extension could have been helpful in training, stages, or competition. Just in general, the extra 2 rounds is very helpful. And then if you look at the two size-wise, they are exactly the same length. In the Glock 17, they still look pretty good. There is a little bit of a space. I have also used them in the Glock 19. It looks a little bit more goofy, not having that bigger base pad. One thing to note when running a Magwell, this is the SLR Rifleworks Competition Magwell. The back top portion does hit a little bit on this metal part of the Magwell. It doesn't cause a problem with reloading, although it does require a tad bit of extra force. It should go in about right there, but it's not seating all the way. If I give it a tad bit more of a push, you can see the magazine push a little bit forward. It's not marking up the slot for the mag catch. It has the full back, unlike some of the other ones where it just has the pin. That's why there's a pin slot right here so the pin can go in and it doesn't hit the rest of that. So that is one con that this area hits, but you are gaining the extra reliability of this system and not having to rely on that pin there. So for me, I'm fine with that. When I'm reloading, it hasn't caused me to drop the mag or the mag not to seat. The bare minimum you will need is some type of punch. This is a Glock pin punch tool. You can use any type of rod to stick into that little hole. This is a Glock magazine base pad removal tool. I prefer this a little bit better. It just makes it easier. These are very cheap. You can get them for like $5 on Amazon, both of these actually. You can buy those in a kit. You also don't necessarily need to buy the kit that has this U-tool in it. You can just stick something in on both sides to get it to remove. If you buy multiple, you would only need to buy one kit with one of the U-tools if you do want to use this. Take the pin on this tool, stick it down in on that pin in the bottom of the mag. I will push it all the way down, and then while I'm keeping pressure on this base pad, I'm also going to pull, and it is a little bit tight, but that will then come off, and you will have some spring tension in the bottom, so just keep your thumb over that while you are sliding the base pad off, and then you can slowly release this up. You will no longer need either of these plastic pieces. Next, I'm going to pull out my follower. There's two clips down at the bottom. I'm just going to put my finger on the bottom of the spring, and I'm going to pull over on it a little bit to get that to unhook, and then I can pull the spring off. When I'm attaching the follower to the new spring, I just want them going the same way, where they are in the same straight line. If I flip it around, the spring is going to be going in a very weird motion, so I don't want that. Hook the spring under the left side of the clip, and I want the spring pushed back on the follower. I'm then going to apply some tension, and you will hear it clip into place. You want to be careful with those little tabs in there. They are very easy to chew up, and then your spring won't stay down underneath and lock into place. But having the spring backwards all the way, because of the angle of the spring, it's going to make it seat and hold better under there. Just from removing that base pad, it definitely chews up the bottom of the base, and it also nicks those ears pretty good. So you do want to be careful when you're removing this. Having a magazine extension that doesn't rely heavily on this little notch here or on the back is important, and that's why this is a decent amount more reliable. Because of the plastic being not super hard, it can fall off this little border and ridge here, which is why when people drop them, their mag extensions can commonly bounce off. Next, I'll take this U-tool, I will slide it into the rectangle area, and then I will push on both sides, releasing the hooks. I can pull this off, and then I will pull both pieces apart. I can insert my follower and spring. I just want it going the same way as it was before. If I turn it around, you can see the angle's not the same and it doesn't match up at the top. Having the follower slanted upwards is going to be the proper way. I'll then insert it into the bottom. I will slide my top piece on. I want the biggest portion, again, facing towards the front, slide it over the top. There is a little plastic piece in there. You want the spring to go around that piece. Right there, we can see the spring is around that plastic part at the bottom. I'll have this top plastic piece pushed down all the way. I'll push the spring and the bottom in until it clips, and now it's in place. Completely enclosing it. It doesn't move at all. It will slide back and forth just a hair. Glock should be able to make mag extensions like this, especially this polymer one that almost fits the Glock magazine perfectly. It's kind of disappointing that they don't and that you have to buy these extra. I wish that you would get at least one of these, if not all of them included. These Arredondo mag extensions are what I'm going to be using. They're also what I would recommend if you do want a magazine extension because of the reliability, durability, and longevity. They're also a very good design overall, and they are easy to install without causing a lot of damage to your stock magazine, especially plastic ones. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to help support the channel, and thank you for watching.